So you have a whole world, a whole society, a culture, a patriarchy that pushes people to get married. But then cheating is also normalized. I stumbled upon an adultery subreddit, and they are basically giving best practices on how to cheat. And we're going to explore some of them today. This subreddit has over 164,000 members. So some of the abbreviations as we infiltrate this subreddit: AP is affair partner, lowercase p, AP is potential affair partner, SO is significant other, EA is emotional affair, PA is physical affair, FB, F buddy, FWB, friends with benefits, NSA, no strings attached, NRE, new relationship energy, LTR, long-term relationship, MM is a married woman, MM is a married man, MW is a married woman, OW is other woman. And then there's adultery websites like AM, Ashley Madison, CL, Craigslist, OC, OkCupid, POF, Plenty of Fish. LT means long term. OpSec is Operation Security, or not getting caught. Now, someone created a whole post, and it's a long post talking about Newbies' Guide to Not Getting Caught. So I am going to skip down to the shortened version, and then I'll come back up to this. That way, if you want to just hear the shortened version, I'm doing it first. All right, for the too long didn't read. Number one, create a foundational work. Number one, be consistent in your habits. Now, obviously, this is for people who want to cheat, and I'm giving you guys this information so that you know what the other half is doing. All right, foundational work, be consistent in your habits to keep under the radar. Number two, if habits have to change to accommodate cheating, do it before you cheat. Number three, be aware of your emotions and psyche. In short, don't accuse your significant other of cheating as well without evidence. It raises a red flag. Number four, pick your AP or your affair partner wisely. Computers and phones. Number one, don't document your cheating. Number two, if you do document, store it somewhere safe, i.e., not on your device. Number three, hide or change icons and app names. Hide more for PC. Number four, turn off things that track history. Number five, lock devices with non-common passcodes. Number six, don't store passcodes in browsers. Number seven, use alternative programs for texting, phone calls, and mail. Finance. Number one, get out money slowly. Number two, use cash when possible. Number three, buy preloaded cards if needed. Number four, be careful about business expensing for cheating. Now we're going to go up to his thesis that he typed up for not getting caught, or OpSec. He says, in light of the success of my last post, here is a guide on not getting caught while cheating. I'm sure you will have some additions, but I am also sure most of you will learn something from this. Let the fun begin. Note, for those not familiar, OpSec means Operation Security. The operation here is getting your orgasm on with someone other than your significant other, and security means keeping your significant other in the dark about it. I can tell you what you are for doing this to your spouse, but I was too, so we can grouse about being or move on into how to not get caught. The most important thing about OpSec is emotions. Yeah, you want me to jump into how to stop her from knowing you are cheating, but your guilt and shame will cause you to make mistakes. No guilt and shame, then you are a sociopath or never cared for your significant other. Trust me, there will be some level of guilt and shame for anyone who has any empathetic bone. If nothing else, your subconscious will have you thinking, what if my significant other cheated on me? And have those emotions sitting on the back shelf. What does this mean to OpSec? The ways you will deal with how honest you are about the guilt and shame and how you deal with it. You don't get caught so much because you text your AP on your phone. You get caught because your significant other's radar pops up and has him or her wanting to look at your phone. Psyche is a bit thing, so is habit. So a bullet point on how psyche and habit will get you in trouble. Number one, you get comfortable with cheating. You stop thinking how shitty it is instead of focusing on what you deserve. Classic entitlement, but it leads to sloppiness, and sloppiness leads to divorce. Number two, you get paranoid. Humans tend to project. So we are a cheater. So we are a cheater. Everyone must be a cheater. You start accusing your innocent significant other of cheating, and they start to wonder what's up. Number three, you change habits. You used to always be home at 5 p.m. Now it's 6:30. Plus, you're actually taking off at 4 for a couple of hours. Then she calls the office. Get the point. Um, Number four, you don't know your significant other. Hell, this is likely why you are here. But knowing how your significant other reacts will help. More on this in the third paragraph below. So, how do you fight these tendencies? Accept you are and become aware of your thinking patterns. Honestly, this is one of the hardest things. And if you have to change habits to be a successful cheat, plan cheating in the future and start changing your habits when you are doing nothing. The best way is to start talking about your desires and needs and altering things for them without cheating. Your significant other will understand you need to set boundaries or not. And if not, they will check out all your. There's no evidence because you're not cheating. There are two benefits from keeping your genitals out of the mix for a bit. On one hand, things might change and the reason you want to cheat might disappear as you actually start communicating with your spouse. No guilt and shame. No need to always keep on OpSec on a high level. The opposite benefits is when you do start spending time bumping uglies with someone else, you are less likely to get caught. You can call this a cheating trial run, which will help you know your significant other better. And since you aren't cheating now, you will be able to take mental notes on how he or she reacts and how you can smooth it over when you aren't guilty of anything. Not as much fun as arranging a quickie in the backseat of a minivan, but far less dangerous. You put up with the relationship problems for a bit. You can hold out a bit longer, mostly for the guys, as most women are more patient here. I know this is not the part you want to read, but it is the foundation for proper OpSec. You have to mind you have to have your mind in order and understand how your brain will F you up. While I'm on the subject, let's talk about your affair partner, as they represent a major OpSec challenge. The obvious is when your AP is clueless about OpSec, but consider affair partners wisely, as there is a risk your AP will help you get caught if you don't. So I'm going to cover some obvious points. Don't lie to your affair partner. You shouldn't be lying to your significant other, but since you are, don't piss off your AP. What does this mean? Don't lie about being married. Don't lie about fooling around. Don't lie about leaving your significant other for them unless you are really serious about this. Sure, you can get more sex through lying as it broadens the field, but a pissed off affair partner can mean coming home and finding your affair partner and significant other having a nice talk in your dining room. Exceptions here are one night stands while out of town, as long as you aren't stupid and share too much information. So he really fleshes this out and is going to make for a video that is longer than 10 minutes. So I will give you space to read this for yourself. I will say a few of these. Choose your APs wisely. Single people assuming the successful philanderer will help them achieve their goals are higher risk than someone also in a dead bedroom who wants to feel loved. Make sure your AP is sane. I dated one that was crazy, and yes, I mean actually crazy. You got here and said, none of this is about getting caught. Yes, I did. All of the above is the foundation for the cheating house. Boring slab, perhaps, but the house does not stand without it. Now let's get to the flooring and the walls. Here you go. You pause to read this part about your phone. Is the primary tool for finding APs. It is also the one most likely to get you caught. So read this. Y'all, I told you he created a whole thesis talking about don't change your habits, lock your phone, secure the passcode, don't use a common passcode, but those things were already in the too long, don't read. More on the phones. Here's talking about clearing history and more things that you can do. Read all of this. Like I said, I'm not going to read all of this, but here are some more tabs for you to read. And here is the final page. Don't forget to like, comment, and share, y'all. Someone in my Bourbon Bougie community copied and pasted this whole post because she figured it was going to get deleted, and it did. So this is the title. My daughter, who is 3, says she is afraid of her dad, who's 35. And the woman who reposted it in my page says, this is protecting this male over her toddler. Now, here's the story. She says, my daughter, who's 3, says she's afraid of her dad. My husband is a great dad and an amazing parent. He is extremely involved and is pretty much our kid's primary carer. My daughter loves him, tells him and me that often, but yesterday something happened and I'm not sure if I should share it with him or not. My husband sometimes, not always, reacts with anger or scolding if our daughter does not comply with his requests or messes up with something she should be able to do. I get that as parents, we are not perfect, and sometimes you lose it. Not ideal, but human. The worst is when he scolds or shames her for having a pooping accident. Following these incidents, my daughter clearly tries to win him over, charm him again, and to me, that's just so wrong for her to learn. I, of course, have to put my foot down on this, but it still happens. Yesterday, she had an accident, and my husband dealt with it, but it veered towards shaming and scolding. In the evening, approximately 1 hour after, I had this exchange with her. Daughter, Mom, are you afraid of the dark? Me? No, I'm not. Not when I'm with you. Are you? Daughter, no. Are you afraid of the disco ball? Me? No. No, silly. That's festive. Daughter, are you afraid of dad? Me? No. Are you afraid of dad? The daughter, yes. Why? And the mom, why? The daughter, because he is angry and sad with me. Mom, oh, honey, that's not about you. Like, what do you even say? Um, then she gets this heartbreak emoji and she says, absolutely no physical violence, FYI. I know it would break his heart to hear. He is working on getting better. He does everything for our kids, but maybe I should include him on how his actions affect our daughter, or should I keep it to myself? Does this need to be said? What are your thoughts? Grateful for any input. And the woman who put this on my page says, my mom was just like this with her boyfriend. No protection, only cared about not upsetting him. And then Charming Bear says, King baby energy. He can make mistakes, but no one else is allowed to. And every woman in his family has to be careful not to hurt his feelings. As if a 3-year-old is scared of you, if a 3-year-old is scared of you, maybe you are not as kind and caring as you think you are. The comments were still on the post, even though the post got deleted. This person says, it would break his heart. Good, it should. I'm sorry to give a harsh response, but I feel like it's needed here. I'm a father with a daughter myself. It would crush me if my daughter ever says she was scared of me. It should, because that means I'm doing something wrong. Your husband is messing up bad, and she's learning that she needs to buy affection or stick out the fear and constant sadness just to get a slither of love and kindness from a permanent figure, male figure. If you do nothing or just let it go, you two will fail as parents, but not only towards your eyes, but your own daughter. Tell him to fix his attitude before he loses his daughter and that fear turns into resentment. And I guess this is the OP. She says, completely agree. I do not want her learning that which I have voiced, but I need to find more or better ways to explain to him why it is so damaging. He only sees the silly affection seeking daughter, and I don't think he sees the ramifications. This person says the ramifications are that she is scared of him. That's what you tell him. And this person says, and due to being scared or ashamed, some kids will start to hold their poop until it becomes a medical emergency. This really isn't something to F around with. Dad needs to learn about emotional abuse and how he's committing it and research proper development for kids. Then he needs to change his ways and start praising her for every poop she does in the toilet. Maybe even read books like Everybody Poops, or a joke book where they pull it out and laugh together when she goes. My dad did all sorts of little tricks like this when I was that age, and being neurodivergent, it helped my development a lot. All right. And just, as a mom, you know, but also as a former kid, when you make mistakes, kids make mistakes. It's all part of the learning process. And if you make it so that kids making a mistake and they don't want to come to you because they know that you're going to scold them or holler at them or shame them, they're not going to come to you for their mistakes, whatever the mistakes is. Potty training is hard. It's stressful for everybody involved. But that this is just the tip of the iceberg. Kids break things, kids mess up things, kids hurt themselves, kids hurt other people. But if you want them to be able to come to you for the big things, you have to show them that you're not going to blow up over the little things. And so that is what I have learned as I am parenting. And obviously, all of this is trial and error because nobody comes into parenthood knowing how to take care of kids, and like the first time I kind of got on to one of my kids about peeing on themselves. I saw the shame and I'm like, oh my God, I will never do that to my child again because I don't want them to feel like something that is this normal, because potty training is normal. I don't want them to not come to me and, go into a cocoon or a shell and not want to share with me. But you guys can go ahead, voice your comments, your parenting tips, or, you were a former kid. How did scolding and shaming work on you or against you or whatever? So jump in the comments and let me know what you think. So y'all know how we've seen those wedding cake jokes where the husband smears cake all over his new wife's face. Well, now we have a woman who says she is still mad at her husband. She says, I'm still mad at my husband. She says, me and my husband got married around a year and a half ago. I will not elaborate on the wedding and all of the bad things that happened, but I will say this. When the cake part came, I begged him to just feed me the cake the normal way and not smear it on my face. And guess what he did? I felt so beautiful until that moment. And of course, I couldn't have said anything because everyone was watching, and I'll be the psycho, no fun wife who can't take a joke. I still feel resentful towards him, and I don't know how to let it go. So this is the only time she actually responded in the comments. So this person says, I'm so sorry he went against your wishes. Have you told him that this has been weighing on you since? How have things been going since the wedding? I remember our wedding photographer saying that after 20 plus years of experience, they could tell which couples would or wouldn't make it based on their behavior toward each other on their wedding day. They mentioned cake smashing as an indicator that there would be future problems, especially if it wasn't mutually agreed upon. And the OP says, there is a grudge I hold against him mostly because of things he did at the wedding or didn't do, but led to some. Like when I begged him to practice our first dance because we both have two left feet, and he didn't. And when we finished our awkward dance, my stepmother approached me and said, with how it looked, it wouldn't have harmed you to learn to dance a little. Or when I gave him one assignment and it was to make sure there is cocktail hour, and he didn't. And I couldn't have done it because we got married in his country to request, and I don't speak the language. How things have been hard. I can't talk to him about anything serious because his reaction is some sarcasm or jokes or just I feel alone mostly. So, y'all tell me, do you think that this is going to last? I do not, because when a woman is telling her man how she feels about something and he just disregards her, how long is she going to put up with this? This is a terrible start. And, we live in a time where women actually have rights and don't need men for survival, and they are not understanding that. All right. Somebody was like, do you actually want this marriage? But like I said, she didn't come back and make any more comments. But this is a terrible way to start things. She says she feels alone in her marriage. How long do you think she's going to stay? Okay, so this person said, do you actually want this marriage? And then this person says, sounds like she just wanted the Disney wedding. The marriage was just an afterthought. So that's the thing. Actually having a woman say that she wants to be respected and can you do this, this, and this, only to be told no or rebuffed, that is not out of line. That is not saying anything about a fairy tale at all. That is simply wanting a partner that listens to you. But these people don't think that it's up to, like, women should have a voice, I guess. Okay, this person says it sounds like she wants respect and empathy from her life partner for whom she sacrificed her original life. And this person says, no, it doesn't sound like that at all, actually. Then Mr. Lunchbox says, I don't know why this got downvoted because it seems to be accurate. And then this, excuse me, this person says, how is wanting your partner to respect your boundaries and put some effort in, especially when they themselves literally cannot do it because she said she doesn't speak the language, equate to a Disney wedding. Not wanting to be disrespected and humiliated at your wedding in no way translates to caring about a wedding more than a marriage. Her requests were extremely reasonable and basic. And this is coming from someone who absolutely loathes weddings and thinks people care way too much about them. What he did was not okay. It's incredible that some of you are blaming her in this. How exactly is a husband taking the actual marriage seriously by violating his new wife's boundaries, intentionally humiliating her, and putting zero effort for a celebration of their marriage? Seems like she's entirely right to feel this way, considering it's consistent with the pattern of behavior that has continued since the wedding by minimizing and mocking her feelings. And this person just continues to like, I guess this is a regular thing because this person says, is expected in this sub, surprised it hasn't been removed by an admin yet. I'm just going to leave it there. I just wanted to bring this out because it is interesting to see the voice of a woman that has had this happen after the fact. And I really, really want women to continue to speak their narrative because this is not okay. And we need to let other women know that these supposed pranks and jokes, they will create this tension that is long lasting. And the men need to know that this is just not okay. It's not okay. All right, you guys jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.